is the government deliberately making everyone in Nigeria poor for election purposes? That is the question we are going to try to answer today. And with me here is
Avila.
And this is
Hosanna.
And you are welcome to the Youth Agenda. Now, this is the question that I want to pose to everyone here. You see, one of a human rights agency has actually said that the government is actively putting in policies to keep Nigerians poor. And that's why we're having all this instability and, impoverishment of the citizens in this country, all because they want to use it to, maximize the electoral potential in 2027. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. I do. Because if you look at everything that have happened over the past few months, the taxation and a lot of things generally, you will find out that politicians are interested in keeping Nigerians poor so that their intentions about the elections can be fulfilled. Because if you don't keep a Nigerian poor, there's a possibility that Nigeria will not tilt to whatever you are doing or whatever you're saying.
Will not collect election bribe.
Yes, because it's only money that can make another person do what he or she does not want to do in our present, in our country today. Yeah. It's not food, it's not, it's just money. So for me, I think yes.
Hosanna, do you agree? Because it is evident that, when you look at the policies that the government keeps bringing, like the tax system, you're telling me now that I, as a young man that I'm not even earning much, you understand? I have to start paying some kind of certain amount of tax to meet up, and somehow it's expected for people in the marketplaces and all these things. So you can tell that there's an active direction to make Nigerians poor in this country. Don't you see so? Don't you think so?
Okay, so according to the Pricewaterhouse Coopers, it's a global financial company. It has been seen that, or the statistics has been increased to, I think 74 or 80% of Nigerians being poor by 2026, 2027. That there's a system ongoing to keep them poor so that they can, they can be easily swayed.
It's obvious. It's obvious.
Because these people cannot mortgage their conscience. They cannot mortgage the decisions they try to make, because streamlining it down, this also somehow still has to do with the youth. It's not the elderly people who snatch ballot boxes or who try to perpetuate or who change these things on their what's the name of that? Their beavers. What's the name of this? Their election.
I think it's the beavers.
Beavers. So this technology are all run by young people, and these young people are consistently being kept under the minimal, like the bare minimum is given. So when this is given and you have the opportunity to someone is telling me someone is telling you somebody is telling you you have this thing now, na sharp walk, 3 million naira, do am, change them, my brother. Think of it. 3 million naira. You feel like, make I just
let me just go. After all, the government has not done anything.
And you know what they think? This 3 million naira, if you help my life by that next thing, I'm not going to get poor again. But you're just setting yourself up.
Yeah, but I also want to talk about it because when you read through a lot of things that these agencies are saying, they're actively putting up policies that make us poor. But I'm also thinking about the idea that as President Tinubu, since he came into power, he also established student loans and said, you are in if you are a student of a university, you're laughing. But I'm serious. So it's in some way he's providing funds for people to do. So how come all these things are happening?
So if you're telling me you're giving me student loan, just as the name implies, loan. So that means I'm poorer. Yeah, because the loan makes.
If I'm not, why are you giving
me a loan? Yeah, and it's not as if you're creating empowerment programs that would help me, keep myself going. So if you're giving me a loan and there's no program to help me pay back, yes, you're actually indebting yourself, and that's a trap. For me, that's a trap. So. Personally, that's it.
So it is really oh God, this episode.
You're thinking about
it. No, because it is strange when you really think about it. Like, okay, I give you a loan, and it seems like a good thing, but at the end of the day, you are now owing me money.
Okay.
And there's And this loan you gave to me is not really like I'm using it for business.
It's for school. It's for school.
So when I'm out of school, and with the current situation, there are no jobs. Some people finish school, they don't get jobs. So how am I supposed to pay back the loan? This is just a system. It's just systemic. Constantly keeping you under the boss so that when they need you and pick you, you feel like, oh, you're the chosen one. This man picked me to run these things, and you're giving money, but meanwhile you're just being used.
Now I understand that systemic poverty is what's on the table right now, but I also want to talk about systemic insecurity, in the sense that over last year in December, one of the major headlines that was made was the United States coming into the country and bombing a particular section in the north, and that led to drastic decrease in the insecurity challenges we're having. And when the Nigerian government was consulted as to see their opinion for that, one of the things they said was they were the ones who were actively in conjunction with the United States military in order to provide the information of where those people were. And the question is, so Nigeria has always known where those things are. No, you can think about it. So you're telling me that the government has always known where these people are, and they did not do anything about it, which means systemic insecurity is what they desire. They wanted those things to happen, just like they want us to be poor. Do you think so?
Yes, I do, actually, because there was a time I got to understand that some of this insecurity we are facing in Nigeria, some of them are sponsored by politicians, and some of the reasons why they do this, still the same thing we're talking about, just to keep Nigerians at a particular level, to make them understand that you actually need the government, So when any one of them is coming to you, you're like, oh God, we need him. We need the funds. We can use it to empower ourselves. We can use it to do this, because the idea now comes up that it's because the youths are not doing anything. When you see a farmer in the village, what comes to your mind? There's no office job for that particular individual. So that still brings you under the government. That still makes you have this mentality that we need him.
Now talk of farmers here. So the World Food Program has, I think it's been able to come up with a program. The World Food Program has suggested that Nigeria still has the highest numbers of starving children in the world, which still brings me to the insecurity. The insecurity we're talking about is not just food. It's not just insurgencies, about terrorism, human life, terrorism. It's not just about the student loan. We also have food
insecurity, which is related to the poverty sector.
Yes.
So the average Nigerian thinks food. There's some people you go to their house and they can't even give you food. They've made everything feel like you have to stretch to be able to get it. So 77% of Nigerian children are hungry, or children are hungry on the street. They're starving. So tell me, the parents of those children that are starving, anybody can come and tell you, can I have your passport? Let's use it to make a voter's card and take this amount, even with those children who are not so grown, and use them to vote. So these things are continuous. They are strategies.
From this, I get to understand why they focus on the food basket of the nation, Benue State.
Yes.
Because
I'm targeting them. You see what's going on right there?
It's as if we are just connecting all the dots.
I believe that's the reason why they are targeting that place. Because if the food basket of the nation, which is Benue State, cannot deliver food to the whole, to the nearby states.
It's only go to increase the insecurity. Now the question is, here in the Youth Agenda podcast, we always try to, not just talk about the problems and not just talk about, all the issues, but we also like to talk about solutions and ways that we can solve these issues. And personally speaking, and when I'm thinking about this a lot of time, I keep wondering, how do we fix this? How do we solve a situation whereby your government is actively trying to keep you poor and keep you down and keep you suffering, keep you hungry, keep you insecure? How do you solve that, Zaina?
Well, I think the problem of Nigeria is Nigerians. Because the government, they are Nigerians. I don't think there's any foreign body really ruling us. And in as much as that has been said, it means that these people also know our problems. They know how to solve our problems. Yesterday I was in a conversation and someone was asking me, if you had the power to do one thing, what would you be doing? And I said outrightly, I would change Nigeria. I want Nigeria to be a place where you are secured. Let's start tackling these insecurities. What are the root causes of the insecurity? What are the problems? Who are the people perpetuating these insecurities? Talk about food. How can food go round? How can we manage children so we cannot be overpopulated? Because overpopulation can also, send us to hunger, starvation, and all of that, to malnourishment. There's some places you be to and you're like, is this even Nigeria? I watch documentaries a lot, BBC documentaries and other people who do documentaries. And there's this particular guy, I don't want to call names, he goes to these urban is not to these areas, these rural areas. This, in fact, rural is too tush. There's a word
below rural.
There's a word I want to use. So you see the suburb areas where people live in water.
Oh, okay.
They pass fishes in water. They live in boats.
Yeah.
They construct things and they live there. And I'm wondering, these people also pass votes. How do these votes and ballot papers and all these things get to these places? And, the main things that are supposed to get to these places don't get to these places. What are these things? Normal human aid. Electricity, freedom to living good life. How come these people are not enjoying all of this? Somebody is somewhere taking this money for local government, taking this money to establish schools, do this and that. All these things are not working. And so we start with accountability. Let's hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah, and that's something that we've talked about recently, and I implore everyone watching to go and watch that video as well, where we talked about how at a local government level, if you are interested in a position, in a political position, in a chairmanship position in your local government level, you have to pay 30 million naira just to be interested. So you see that even at the local government level, we're having hurdles. We're having hurdles. And it's like, how do we fix this issue? How do we fix it?
It's devastating that most Nigerians now we can't find anyone with integrity.
Except
that's one
VDM.
thing.
Except for VDM.
Except for me. I have integrity.
He says it all the time. He says I'm the only one with integrity.
Let me not use most Nigerians. One thing we lack is integrity. If we can find men of integrity, we can find men that can build Nigeria again.
Yes.
There was a time, I think back then, 2023, thereabouts, there were some informations coming in that we need to use the youth, we need to use some certain people, go down. And some people did that. It didn't work out because they were not men of integrity. So one thing I personally would suggest that Nigerians or the government, if they will, in order to, stop this particular thing happening, is to find men with integrity. And it's funny that they know the men that have integrity. I heard a story of a group of politicians came together and said, sir, we know that you will not steal our money. So we would like to give you, was it $250 million in cash? I'm telling you, I got to hear the story. But we have the one in the bank. So we would like you to do that for us. So my question was, how did they know
that this man is and
he's not in politics? So how did they know? So if we can find such men, at the end of the day, he didn't do that. It's funny that even banks collide together. They have collabo, it's collab. They collaborate to make sure that it happens. So it's not just about the politicians now. It's Nigerians as a whole. Yes. So if we can find men of integrity, men that have this empathy, we call it now, empathy regarding other Nigerians, like you talked about riverine areas. They see those areas and they're like, oh my God, this is alarming. This is not something we need to see in Nigeria. And we have what it takes. If we have men like that.
Now, the thing is, those areas don't even come to pop. People, they don't hear about them. Talking about integrity.
Yes.
Why do you think the current chief of army staff, he was supposed to be the chief of army staff for a long time.
Yes.
But Nigeria knew he was the right man. They knew Did you see his title? Did you see
I
the
understand.
award?
Yeah.
They
So we
know
did
he
it.
was
We
the
also
man.
did an
We
episode
know
on
we
that.
had
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
please watch that video if you've not. Yes. So they know these people.
Yeah.
Why did it take so much time? Why did they have to install him just right after
You
the
know,
US
the
government,
US
Syrian government
yeah,
said
yeah.
they were going to bob? So they actually know what they're doing. So let's just unknow a lot of things and fix Nigeria.
The truth is, at the end of the day, I believe that you are both right. We do have to we do have to get to the roots of these issues and try to address the cause of the issue. And the roots of the issue is that we have people who do not have integrity. And that's what's causing a lot of this. But at the end of the day, as young people, as ourselves, as we have to be people of integrity. We have to be like VDM. You understand? I'm kidding. But we have to be people of integrity, and we have to actually stand for what is right and what is true. And that's how we actually solve the issues in the country. This is the Youth Agenda podcast. Thank you for joining us, and let us know your comments or your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.